How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So, time has come to do the year review on the HRT RAC Plate carrier. I put this thing through a lot. So first off, why do you care? Why do you care what I have to say? Because I'm just some random YouTuber telling you about it. Well, I did not use this kit recreationally or just on weekends and fun. I have. But the primary role of this is active duty, me wearing it every single day, carrying weapon systems, ammunition, night vision, breaching equipment, CBRN equipment, at night, during the day, 100-degree heat, -35, no joke, -35. I walked around in this kit and performed a lot of missions and, requirements which really sucked. But I'm going to talk to you about the durability and how did it last? What has failed me? Is this kit worth it for you and your paycheck? So, first off, this isn't the only carrier that I have used. Now, it is the only one that I've used for an entire year, but I have other carriers around me just because I want to represent, hey, I'm not just some random dude that just says, oh, this is a great carrier and you need to get it. I have experience with other carriers throughout my career of being active duty, multiple deployments all over the place. So, let's dive into specifically the nitty-gritty of this, the durability. That's the main thing that people care about. Is this worth your money? If you're gonna shovel out the money for this, is it gonna work in the environment that you need it to for a decent amount of time? So, I'm gonna tell you things that specifically failed. Now, the first thing that I always look for in carriers, just me personally, everybody's different, is the stitching. How well is it, put together? Is it, in a way, glued together with, stitching and other stuff like that? What sets this apart from other carriers? Now, I can tell you from experience, the one spot that I was very impressed at is right up here in the shoulders. They triple and quadruple seam or sew this up here in the corner where all that weight tends to come down on, especially if you're, a rifleman and you're shooting. This area tends to kind of get beat up with abrasion a lot, especially with comms and other stuff that are routing through there, and you're constantly tugging on it and moving it around. If your plate carrier is off of you, you're picking it up by just these straps, and all the weight transfers to those corners. So why am I so particular about this? Mainly because I've had other carriers in the past, not this one, but an identical carrier to this, I have had fail me in that specific location. And I was fairly upset. The buckle broke, I've had that happen on that carrier, up in the top, and the seam tear apart. I'll show some footage if I can find it. And whatnot, some photos and stuff of telling you about it. This carrier has not had any seam issues. And I'm talking, I've used this carrier, like no joke, I wear it every single day with weight in it on, specific missions all over the place. Me traveling, different states and stuff in this carrier. So, next thing is I can tell you that has degraded, but is kind of common, is Velcro. There's one spot that the Velcro, or actually two to be technical, if I want to show you everything, which I want to be transparent, and that would be right up here in the front. So this is a Maximus placard. These just, come apart, and actually they're random rocks. That's great. Because that's funny. So I have just random rocks, probably from the last time I was bounding or crawling on my chest or on my stomach through really rocky terrain. That's funny. There's probably a bunch in there, honestly. Or my friends just keep stuffing rocks in there when you're not looking, when you have your carrier off to the side. Anyways, getting back to the point. So, this Velcro patch right here has started to degrade, as you can see it. And that's because the Cummerbund, at least, normally what you do is, cinch it down. That's how I wear it. But when I take it off, I don't like to pull up my Cummerbund and then reattach and then set it down because I'm going to be using it quite a bit. So normally what I'll do is I'll just leave it down and I'll throw it like that. So constant, over an entire year of doing that with the Velcro has really degraded this. But in any carrier, that's the truth. Any carrier I have here or you will use that has Velcro, Velcro will degrade over time. It is a use-based item. You're gonna use it, it's gonna degrade. So could I replace this? Yeah, absolutely. Could you get a seam rip all that out and just put a new one there. Too easy. This side of, you know, the hook portion is fine. There's no issues to it. The rest of the carrier on Velcro wise of me using it is fine. There's no issues. It's just this specific spot, and that's because, like I said, again, constantly doing that over and over again, taking it off. One other location is your comm routing stuff, right up here on your shoulders. This one is starting to fail on me. Now, is it a big deal? No, not really. I don't really run comms on my right side because I'm a right-handed individual, so I try to keep my cheek weld and where the stock of the rifle goes fairly empty. Even if you transition over, I got PTTs and comms and stuff over here. But regardless, I try to keep this side very open for that purpose. And this one's starting to degrade over time, which is honestly expected. I mean, what do you want? Like, it's going to degrade over time. Like I said, all the stitching on this entire carrier is good to go. So just to give you a quick rundown before we also talk about durability, this is a Maximus placard right here. I added a Faro Concepts, you know, I forget what bag it is. I'll probably leave it in the bottom section, but it has my trauma kit and all that kind of stuff in it. But this Maximus is really nice, personally, kind of going a little bit talking about my use with it. I like it because it can hold 3 magazines up here in the front, but then also have like these admin pouches that are sewn in, so you don't have to worry that extra layer of MOLLE. Yes, you can't take that off, but it keeps it really slim into your body. I put a bunch of admin stuff in here. Extra 123 batteries, extra double A's. I have Sharpie in here. You know, I have a bunch of Viz markers, all different colors, mainly because I'm battle tracking and stuff like that. I have Write in the Rain book in here. You know, maps, which I'm not gonna show you. OPSEC-based material I can't show you because I use this in a real world scenario every single day, you know, situation. I throw chem sticks down here on the side, but this placard is really nice. Now they make a thin one too that's just the magazines, and then you can add whatever you want. This has worked out really well. So cummerbund wise, I've had no issues with a cummerbund at all. Let's get this over to the side real quick. Actually, random sim rounds are falling out of it as we speak because I train with this all the time too. Who knows what I'm gonna find at the bottom of this stuff? Honestly, rocks, sim rounds, brass, empty shell casings. Hopefully nothing's too serious. But mainly I run, you know, tourniquet. I have a small admin pouch mainly for like a rag so I can wipe down my battle tracking with my Viz markers, handcuff keys, and then running specific level 4 plates inside it at all times. One thing that I was surprised didn't degrade on me as well, moving to the back, I'm not going to open it up because it is a literal pain because they did a really good job at this, is bungee in here. They use a elastic cord to kind of soften the blow on your cummerbund. Hasn't failed me. Very surprised. Most of the time, elastic likes to fail, but it is covered up from that UV light that really degrades stuff over time. Run a dump pouch on my back left side. Comms, of course, are over here if I'm running a Motorola or 152. Extra magazines, less than lethal. I have gloves hanging off here on the side. And then also, you know, PTT, which I can run. If I run Peltors, I'll run a different mount and stuff like that. So one thing that I didn't use too much in the beginning, but I transitioned over to, and that's this Hydromax Pack right here. This will attach onto the back. Now, this thing is actually really nice, mainly because you can hold extra magazines or extra, you know, fun items that if you need to use them, which is normally where my, you know, less than lethals or my bangs or my smokes will go, so people behind me can grab them. And I also run water in here, my bladder, mainly because it's nice just to have that. So like I said, you have routing, which is starting to fail, but other than that, it's not too bad. The Velcro on this has 3 different keepers. So like I said, Velcro fails over time. This one is not, but if it ever does, it is also triple retained by snaps and then zips on the back side. Now I really like this Hydromax, honestly. When I first got it, I was like, that's pretty cool. It's expandable too. And I was like, what am I gonna use that in? And then a couple months in, I was like, I'm gonna go use that. So I used it and I was like, wow, this thing's really cool. Really thin too. You can get it really thin to your back. Especially when you're running in vehicles. I like have a slick back and I was worried this was gonna like punch out my back. Sucks right down to it. I'm very surprised. Now that depends on what you put in it, but for the most part, I'm very impressed with it. So let's flip this back around. So overall, my goodness, there's all kinds of dirt and stuff just pouring out of this thing. I probably clean it, honestly. I need to probably go do that. I need to take everything out of it and just clean this carrier really good. But overall, I am very impressed with this carrier, using it for a year. And like I've said, I am not paid by them to say anything. I can say whatever I want about this carrier, and it doesn't matter because I am an independent reviewer and I make no money. If you buy 1,000 of these or you buy one, I will not see any money of that. The company, of course, will. But that allows me to say my real world opinion on this carrier. I can say whatever I want. And I'm telling you, for the most part, this is a good carrier, especially for the money. You forking out your cash to get this carrier, I think it is worth it because it has worked for me and I will continue to use this carrier. And like I said, I am not a shill. I have so many other carriers that I could choose to run around me, the industry, whatever it is, but I choose to go back to this one. And not because I get any money, because I don't. Because a lot of people accuse me of that, which I don't know why. I try to be truthful with all y'all about everything, so you guys trust me. So, other than that, this carrier, in my opinion, is worth it. I think you should take a look at it and decide if for your MEP-TC situation, if it's worth it or not. So if you guys like this kind of stuff and want to see more real world reviews, no joke of me actually using stuff, then definitely hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment, description box below, that helps too. Just generates, that algorithm, really helps out. If you want to donate, we have PayPal and also Patreon. Patreon is like my priority. Like I always go to Patreon, I always message or I always look at my messages on there. They are the first people that I contact and get back to immediately and show a whole bunch of extra content that YouTube will never see. And I bounce ideas off of them. Hey, what content do you think I should do this time? Do you want to see this video? Do you want to see that? What do you like about this product? Here's a good deal. I share stuff like that on there all the time. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely consider it. If not, just keep enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day.